And the campaign is called Hiring Heroes, and here to talk more about that is Tom Brokaw. Now, Tom, you've documented the experience of veterans of foreign wars in years past. What different challenges do our veterans face today?
Well, the big difference is that the economy is in such, it's still trying to crawl out of a very deep hole. You know, even when the Vietnam veterans came back and they were shunned by a lot of society, they could get a job for the most part. The economy was booming at that time. Certainly was true for the World War II generation. And when the World War II generation came back, everybody had been involved in the war effort. They were working at ammunition plants, or they were rationing meat and other critical supplies so the troops could have what they needed. Everyone knew someone who was serving in uniform. That's not true this time. Most people in this country can go through their daily lives without ever having to think for even a nanosecond about the fact that we've been involved in the two longest wars in our nation's history. That's the obligation of a democratic republic, is to make sure that all citizens have a keen awareness of what everyone on the left of you and the right of you is doing on behalf of the country.
And what about in creating incentives for our veterans returning home? Of course, they need to find a place to be hired, a place to be employed. For the employers out there, what can they do? How can they step up and also maybe make it easier for our veterans returning to find a job here at home?
Well, I think that they have to have an internal review of what they may need. A lot of them look at, there was a wonderful story told today on Morning Joe by Willie Geist, a friend of his who led a combat squad in Iraq. He sent in his resume. The personnel officer said, well, there's no experience here. He said, I went up a hill, took a village, reorganized the village, put in a sanitation district, built a medical clinic, and worked with the village elders to make sure that the village would survive. I think that shows a lot of experience. It's that kind of experience that we need to capitalize on.
And is it indeed that kind of experience that can create the next greatest generation?
Well, I do think that these young people who have volunteered when there's been so little support for them at home will come back and have a real impact on our society. The president of the University of Iowa made an offer to returning veterans. If you want to come to the University of Iowa, she said, we'll give you in-state tuition. So they had about 500 veterans come onto the campus. She said it lifted the campus in a way that she didn't anticipate because they're mature. As I say, they work as a team. They're mission-oriented. They're very serious about life, well beyond their years because of the experiences that they've gone through and what they've seen.
Well, the campaign is called Hiring Our Heroes, and Tom, I want to thank you for speaking about this subject with us today.
My pleasure. Best to everybody in the Upper Peninsula.